dissolution and winding up. Of course, in life, we have to accept that some things really need to end. Okay? So, some things doesn't last forever. Doesn't last a lifetime. Like love. Okay? Okay. So, let's proceed with dissolution and winding up. So, when we say dissolution as defined by law, dissolution is the change in the relation of the partners caused by any partners ceasing to be associated in the carrying on of the business as distinguished from the winding up of the business. So, dissolution from the article means the change in the relation. Pag may nagbago na, di ba? Pag napansin mo na may nagbago na, ay, nako, malapit-lapit na yan. Dati, nagte-text sa harap mo, nagte-chat sa harap mo. Ngayon, hindi na, di ba? Dati, pag nagsi-CR, iniiwan yung cellphone. Ngayon, hindi na, di ba? Di ba? There is a change. Okay? I hope you can relate. Caused by any partner ceasing to be associated in the carrying on of the business. Di ba? Kapag may nagbago, ay dissolution. Okay? Okay. Although, you have to take note that partnership is not immediately terminated. Sabi nga natin, it continues until winding up of the partnership affairs. Okay, ibig sabihin, kapag yung partnership na dissolve, hindi ibig sabihin wala na siyang legal personality. It still has the legal personality. Okay, then bakit sir, what then is the purpose of its, bakit pa hindi diretsyo na ma-terminate? Why? Because you need to settle all the liabilities and obligations of the partnership, di ba? You need to collect the assets and properties of the partnership. Kung mayroon kayong mga accounts receivable, you need to collect those before paghatian lahat. Di ba? Kailangan ayusin lahat bago ma-terminate yung partnership. At yung pag-aayos niyan, yung tinatawag nating winding up. Under this, there are no new business transactions. Ang transaction lang na pwede dyan is those that are necessary for the winding up of the partnership. A change in the membership and formation of a new one will result to dissolution. Retirement, nag-retire na yung partner, death of a partner, admission of new members. So pag may sumali na partner, iba yung assignee, iba yung sub-partner, iba yung associate. Okay? Iba kapag partner yung inadmit, madi-dissolve yung partnership. Okay? Diba? Yung assignee, yung associate, yung sub-partner, pwedeng maging partner if there is consent of all other partners. Okay, remember that, diba? Diba? Okay. Causes of dissolution. Okay? Number 1, there could be dissolution without violation of the agreement between the partners. Paano? Number 1, termination of the definite term. Of course, nag-expire na yung term na existent, madi-dissolve, winding up, ma-terminate. Okay? Or, na-fulfill yung particular undertaking. Okay? Dissolve, wind up, ma-terminate. By the express will of any partner who must act in good faith when no definite term or particular undertaking is specified. This is in the case of a partnership at will. By the express will of any partner, pwede niyang i-dissolve yung partnership as long as it is done in good faith. Okay? Parang siya, pwede kanyang iwan anytime. Diba? Baka bukas, nagbago isip. Diba? By the express will of all the partners who have not assigned their interest or charged them for their separate debts, either before or after the termination of any specified term or particular undertaking. Yung kanina, partnership at will, any partner provided it's done in good faith. Dito naman, if merong term or meron kayong particular purpose or undertaking, pwede nyong i-dissolve yung partnership kung lahat kayo, siyempre lahat na kayo yan all of you consented na i-end na yung partnership, di ba? Kumbaga sa sa relationship, mutual breakup, di ba? Mutual breakup. Okay. By the bona fide expulsion of any partner from the business in accordance with the power conferred by the agreement. Okay? Meaning, bona fide meaning good faith. Okay? Good faith. Ibig sabihin, kung maalala nyo before, yung discussions natin regarding engaging in a business, Di ba? May dalawang restrictions, industrial partner and capitalist partner. Kapag industrial partner, hindi siya pwedeng mag-engage into any business. Kapag capitalist, hindi siya pwedeng mag-engage into business that is of the same line or same kind ng business ng partnership. Di ba? Sabi natin doon, pag ginawa nila yon, pwede silang ma-remove. Yun yung expulsion. Okay? From that time, since natanggal na yung isa, dissolve yung partnership. Okay? Settle lahat ng obligations. Pwede pa rin ituloy yung partnership once na-settle na yung obligations para meron na namang new partnership na wala na yung natanggal. Okay? So, yun yung dissolution without violation of the agreement of the partners. Okay? Paano kung in contravention of their agreements? Okay? In contravention of the agreement between the partners where the circumstances do not permit a dissolution under any other provision of this article by the express will of any partner at any time. When there is a contravention in the agreement or violation in the agreement, any partner, okay, can go for a dissolution. Provided na yung gagawa nito is hindi yung naka-violate na agreement. I-discuss natin yan later. Basta ang gagawa nito is yung partner who is in good faith or yung walang ginawa na masama. Like, for example, entering into a prohibited contract. Paano? Let's say, for example, engage kayo into merchandising. Ewan ko kung anong product, basta merchandising. Okay? At sabi doon sa partnership contract nyo or sa articles of partnership nyo na no partner shall solely distribute, sell, or dispose of any products sold by the partnership. Ibig sabihin, hindi bawal ang sole distributorship. Okay, ibig sabihin, any partner na walang na hindi involved dun sa contract na yun, they can go for dissolution. Okay? This is by virtue of delectus personae. It gives the partners the power to dissolve the partnership. Diba? If masyado nang madaming violations sa contract of partnership or sa articles of partnership, what's the sense of being in a partnership, diba? Para saan pa, guys? Para saan pa, di ba? Okay. By any event which makes it unlawful for business to be carried on or for the members to carry it on for the partnership. In other words, when it is unlawful for the business. Paano? Let's say, for example, in a law firm or in a partnership with lawyers. Okay? Let's say, for example, ito, gaya dito, J is appointed as a judge. Okay, J is appointed as a judge. Under the law, guys, a lawyer or a person appointed as a judge, okay, cannot practice law. Therefore, hindi siya pwedeng maging lawyer. Siyempre, judge ka na. You cannot anymore practice law. Okay? Full-time yung judge na position. Okay? Therefore, you have to leave the firm. Therefore, because of that, dahil naging unlawful na, partner siya, judge siya, di ba? Unlawful na. Dissolve ang business. Okay? They can settle their obligations and continue the law firm. May bigay lang yung appropriate share ni judge. Okay? If that happens. Okay? Or, in case of war, paano? Let's say, for example, ABC. Si B tsaka si C, Pilipino. Si A, Amerikano. Okay? Ngayon, nagkaroon ng war between America and Philippines. O, di ba? Kayang-kaya ng Philippines. Okay? Ngayon, under the law. Okay, under the law. Bawal kang tumulong sa civilian na national ng kalaban na bansa ng Pilipinas. Okay? Treated siya as enemy. Kasi nga, yung bansa nila kalaban natin. Therefore, the business becomes unlawful. The partnership is dissolved. Okay? Another one, when there is a law prohibiting that business, let's say for example lang shabu. For example, shabu is a commodity na legal na binebenta dito sa Pilipinas. Kunwari, legal pa ang shabu. Pwede siyang ibenta. Now, a group of you formed a partnership para mas mabilis, mas malakas ang pagbenta ng partnership. Di ba? Yung iba sa inyo, runner. Yung iba, tagatulak, ganun. Basta ganun. Okay? Lawful pa siya. Pwede pa yung partnership nyo. But, once the Congress passes a law declaring shabu to be illegal and any distribution, sale of shabu is illegal, then that business becomes illegal, the partnership is dissolved. Okay? Yun yung ibig sabihin natin sa number 3. Okay? Number 4, loss of a specific thing promised by partner before its delivery. Diba? Kung matandaan nyo noon, partners promise to contribute money, property, or industry. This time, specific thing, hindi generic thing. There is a difference. Kapag specific thing, ibig sabihin, this specific thing, kumbaga parang itong thing lang na merong ganitong character. Let's say, for example, A promised to deliver his car. Okay? His car with plate number, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Model number, engine number, chassis number. Okay? That is a specific thing. Kapag generic thing naman kasi, A promises to deliver any car or a car. Ibig sabihin kahit ano, basta car. Okay? Yun yung difference niya. Kapag nawala yung specific thing na yun, isa lang yun eh. Pag nawala yun, nasira, nasunog, danakaw, okay? The partnership is dissolved if hindi siya na-deliver. Okay? Kasi paano pa pupunuan ni A yung promise niya to contribute that specific thing? Wala na nga. Parang yung pagmamahal niya sa'yo, wala na. Ano ba? Okay? But if that specific thing has been delivered at saka nawala, it will not be dissolved, of course, kasi na-delivered na. Ibig sabihin, ownership na siya ng partnership. Sir, what if use of rack lang yung kinontribute? Okay? Anong mangyari kung before delivery nawala? If use lang, okay, dissolve. Oh, sir, bakit? Kasi nga nawala na eh. Okay? In any way, hindi niya naman, ang pinamis niya na i-contribute is yung use. Anong gagamitin ng partnership? Di ba? Kung wala na, para saan pa? Di ba? Ganun yun. So, dissolve din siya kung use at any case, either before or after. Kahit pa na-deliver na yung specific thing, kung nawala siya, basta use lang yung kinontribute, okay, dissolve ang partnership. Because precisely that is contributed for the partnership to use. Diba? Okay. That means that partner is liable. Diba? Sabi natin, kung nawala yun, madi-dissolve. Liable siya to the partners. Balik tayo dun sa discussion natin sa rights and obligations to deliver. Diba? A property. Okay? Including interest, damages. Okay. Number 5. The 5th cause, death of any partner. Okay? Pag namatay, ma-dissolve ang partnership. Except, under a case, okay, if there is a stipulation that, notwithstanding the death of any partner, the partnership life shall continue, pwede. Hindi ma-dissolve ang partnership. Okay? Sabi natin, partnership is a contract. Okay? Any agreement, as long as it is not against the law, pwede. Okay? And this one is a case. Okay? Number 6, insolvency of a partner or insolvency of the partnership. Okay? Ang tandaan nyo dito, kung insolvency of a partner, there is a judgment. Hindi mo naman kasi pwedeng hindi mo naman kasi pwedeng sabihin na insolvent yung partner kaagad. Sinasabi lang natin dito kasi sa problems natin, sa examples natin. Okay? But, in reality, you have to prove that that partner is insolvent. You have to secure a judgment or a decision declaring that partner as insolvent. Pag meron ng decision na yun, the partner can no longer act for the partnership or in behalf of the partners. Ganun din sa partnership. Kapag insolvent na yung partnership, hindi na liquid, wala na silang cash and properties, it becomes impossible to satisfy partnership obligations. Therefore, ma-dissolve na yan, wound up na, and terminate na yung partnership. Civil interdiction of any partner. Okay? Sir, anong civil interdiction? Civil interdiction is a penalty imposed, okay, upon a person guilty of a crime. Ngayon, hindi na tayo punta doon. Basta kapag meron sinabing ganyan, civil interdiction, the partnership is dissolved. Bakit? Kasi yung mga taong ganyan po, sila po yung mga nakukulong panghabang buhay. Sila yung nakukulong ng 40 years, 30 years. They cannot manage their properties. Okay? Merong kalakip kasi yan na sa life imprisonment or sa 30 years, 40 years na pagkakulong, merong nakalakip na civil interdiction. Kasi kung wala yan, kahit pa nakakulong, sabihin mo yung isang drug lord or mayaman na kinulong mo, kung meron pa rin siyang kakayahan na magpagalaw ng pera niya, ng property niya, if you can get the point, okay, kahit pa nasa loob yan, makukontrol niya, di ba? Oh, alam niyo naman yung iskandalo noon sa mga jail sa Manila, oh, di ba? Merong mga VIPs, may mga mayayaman, may mga business sa loob ng kulungan. Oh, pero dapat walang ganun, di ba? Bakit kaya? Di ba? Okay, yun yung civil interdiction. Okay? Decree of court under Article 1831. Ano itong decree of court, sir? Ibig sabihin, ito yung grounds for dissolution by judgment or by decree of court. Okay? Ito kasi, you don't need judgment or decree of court. Okay? Pag may namatay, hindi mo naman napapadeclare yan. Dissolve na talaga yung partnership. You will go to dissolution kaagad yan, di ba? Yan, di mo kailangan ng judgment ng court. Pero dito, under these instances, kailangan mo ng judgment. Okay? Ano yun? Before we go there, sino magfa-file? Of course, kasi sabi mo, decree of court. Therefore, a petition must be filed in court. Okay? The first one is the partner. The second one is the purchaser of partner's interest, which could be yung assignee, yung associate. Diba? Yung mga discuss natin previously. What are the grounds? Okay? Kung yung partner ang mag-file, ito yung grounds niya. If a partner has been declared insane in any judicial proceeding or shown to be of unsound mind. Dalawa to. You could show that a partner is insane. May judgment ng court in any judicial proceeding. Insane meaning baliw. Okay? Or, kung matagal ang process ng courts, which is the reality, okay, you can just show that that person or that partner of yours is of unsound mind. Okay, paano? Through medical records, through history of confinement, if labas-pasok siya sa mental. Okay? Kasi yung iba kasi, episodic ang pagkabaliw. Okay? Meron yung mawawala, tapos babalik sa katinuan. Okay, may ganun. Okay? Okay. That's the first one. Number 2, incapacity of a partner to perform his part of the partnership contract. Take note, this must be permanent incapacity, not temporary. Okay? Dapat lasting. Fails to fulfill duties which eventually affects the partnership. Okay? Any kind of incapacity. Okay? Pwedeng physical, mental kasi, nandun yun sa number 1. Number 3 and number 4. Partner guilty of conduct prejudicial to business or willful or persistent breach of partnership agreement or conduct which makes it reasonably impracticable to carry on partnership with him. Okay? Itong 3 and 4, usually they go together. Why? Because when there's a willful or persistent breach of partnership agreement, that is prejudicial to the business. Diba? Okay, usually itong mga ito, hindi yung minor disagreements, because minor disagreements are normal. Especially partnership kayo, you have different ideas, different methods. And hindi mo maiwasan that you will go into minor disagreements, minor fights, ganun. Basta minor lang, mga ganun lang. Pero kung serious misconduct siya, iba naman na siya. Serious misconduct to the point that the business is affected. Okay? You can go to the court and ask for dissolution. Okay? Okay. Number 5, if the business can only be carried on at a loss. When it is apparent that it is unprofitable with no reasonable prospect of success. Of course, meron tayong principle under your basic accounting. Principle of going concern, di ba? If you can remember that. Principle of going concern. Ibig sabihin that the business is viewed to continue for as long as it can. Diba? Going concern. If kita mo na there's no way that the business can recover, okay, na mahirap, na malabo na makarecover, lagi kayong break even, minsan loss pa, you can ask the court for dissolution kung ayaw ng partners mo. Okay? Kung sila, you can believe, ganun. Kung ikaw, hindi mo na kaya, na foresight mo na, okay, you can go to court. Okay? And ask for dissolution. Siyempre, kapag nagpunta ka na sa court, ibig sabihin, ayaw mo talaga maging part ng partnership. Eventually, that will be granted. Okay? Bakit ka pa pupunta sa court, di ba? Next, other circumstances which render dissolution equitable. Abandonment of business. Pag iniwan ka daw. Okay? Fraud in the management of business. Refusal without justifiable cause to render accounting of partnership affairs. Okay, those that are not stipulated but are valid or equitable grounds for dissolution, you can go to court. Kahit wala dito sa 5. Okay, insanity, incapacity, if guilty of conduct prejudicial to business, willful or persistent breach of partnership contract, when business can only be carried on at a loss, and other circumstances which renders dissolution equitable. Parang yung isang example natin when a partner is excluded in the partnership affairs, hindi siya sinasali. Diba? Remember that a partner has a right to full disclosure of information. Diba? Kung hindi, pwede siyang mag-go to court for accounting. Okay? Pag nag-ask siya ng accounting, of course, kasama na dyan ang action for dissolution. Those are the grounds. If that action for dissolution is filed by the partner. Okay, si partner yan. Kapag si purchaser naman of partner's interest or si assignee, okay, ito ang grounds niya. After termination of specified term or particular undertaking, pwede siyang mag-ask for dissolution. Kasi hindi naman siya partner di ba? Okay? Kapag nag-expire yung term, na-fulfill yung particular undertaking, di ba? Anong ibig sabihin nun? Tapos nag-continue yung business, maging partnership at will. Maging partnership at will. Therefore, pwede siyang mag-ask for dissolution. Okay? Ito yung purchaser of interest. Anytime, if partnership at will, of course. Ito kasi, number 1, hindi siya partnership at will. Partnership for a term or particular undertaking. Kailangan matapos mo muna yung term or ma-fulfill yung undertaking bago siya mag-ask for dissolution. Pero usually, kapag na-end na yung term, di ba, sabi natin, ma-dissolve na yan. Pero may instances kasi na kino-continue yan ng partners. Or, anytime if partnership at will. Okay? The question is when. Basta, kapag naging partnership at will na siya, or kung partnership at will man siya, anytime kung partnership at will. Okay? Yun lang yun. For example, here, ABC Partners, ABC Partnership, ABC. They have been operating for 10 years. Okay, at year 7, C sold his interest to D. Therefore, D becomes the purchaser of partner's interest. D is the assignee. Di ba? Ay, ito pala is term. Okay, they have a term of 10 years. Okay? So, since nasa year 7 pa lang niya siya, si D, hindi pa siya pwedeng mag-ask for dissolution sa court. Okay, kailan lang? After termination of the specified term. After 10 years. Sir, paano kung 10 years and 1 day? Okay na, kasi nag-expire na yung 10 years. Okay? So, can D ask for dissolution at year 9? Answer is no. Diba? Because according to the law, an assignee can only ask for dissolution with the court after termination of the specified term. What if at year 11? Yes, he can already ask for dissolution. Question, if C instead sold his share to D at year 11, can D immediately ask for dissolution? Yes. Titignan mo lang dyan kung partnership at will. Kung sa una hindi siya partnership at will, okay. Hintayin mong maging partnership at will. Pag naging partnership at will, pwede na. Kung partnership at will siya, sa simula pa lang, pwede na anytime. Okay? Okay. Effects of dissolution. Merong areas dito na affected under effects of dissolution. The effects of dissolution will affect the authority of the partner to bind the partnership, the discharge of liability, the settlement of accounts between partners, assets of the partnership, and when business which is dissolved is continued. So, punta muna tayo dun sa una. Okay, effects of dissolution on the authority of partner to bind the partnership. Of course, sabi natin kanina, okay, once that the partnership is dissolved, okay, you can no longer transact or continue ordinary business. Diba? Therefore, the authority of partners to bind the partnership is terminated. Except, sabi natin ulit kanina, dun sa una pa lang, to wind up partnership affairs. Para lang ayusin, para lang isettle lahat ng obligations ng partnership at i-collect lahat ng receivables ng partnership. To complete unfinished transactions, take note, these transactions existed before the dissolution of the partnership. Qualifications. With respect to partners, authority of partners to bind partnership by new contract is immediately terminated. Alam niyo natin yan. When dissolution is not due to act, death, or insolvency of a partner. Ibig sabihin, kung hindi due to act, death, or insolvency of a partner, hindi kaagad ma-terminate. Except if through expiration of term, which is not through ADI or act, death, insolvency, or accomplishment or fulfillment of particular undertaking. Okay? If due to ADI, act, death, or insolvency, partners are liable as if partnership is not dissolved. Okay? If due to act, death, or insolvency, partners are liable as if partnership is not. Why? Bakit, sir? Dissolved naman na. Pero it is due to ADI kasi. It's due to act of a partner, death, or insolvency. Why? Because you have to determine knowledge and notice. Itong ADI kasi, itong act, death, or insolvency kasi, okay, hindi naman kaagad alam yan ng other partners. Di ba? Hindi automatic eh. Except yung expiration of term, which is alam nyo na mag-i-end kayo on the 10th year. Or kapag na-accomplish nyo yung goal nyo, alam nyo lahat yan eh, di ba? Dito kasi, sa ADI, walang presumption of knowledge. Di ba? Walang presumption of knowledge. Therefore, lahat kayo ng partners liable. If na-dissolve ang partnership because of ADI, act, death, or insolvency, all the partners are liable as if existing pa yung partnership. Therefore, if ABC yan, si A, si B, si C, liable sila. Okay? Anong pwedeng gawin? Okay. If the cause of is act of partner, acting partner must have knowledge of such dissolution. Let's say, for example, A, B, and C. Okay? Namatay si... may example pala ako dito. Same pala yung sinasabi ko. Okay? Ito na lang example dyan. A, B, and C. A informed B that he was withdrawing. Okay? Then, after that, A, B, C was dissolved. Nag-withdraw na si A. Okay? C incurred liability without knowledge that that A has withdrawn. So, hindi alam ni C na nag-withdraw na pala si A. Hindi alam din ni C na dissolved na pala yung partnership. Nakipag-contract siya, all of them are liable. Take note, i-put into perspective mo yung third person. Ngayon, liable silang tatlo as partners. What does A need to do to exempt him from his liability? Meron ba? Of course, yan is withdrawal. That is an act of a partner. Di ba? Act yan ni A. Therefore, pwede mong i-prove na si C, yung acting partner, must have knowledge of the dissolution. Pwede ka pumunta sa court, i-prove mo. Court daw. Honorable court ang ibig sabihin. Honorable court. Okay? Pwede mo sabihin sa honorable court na C has knowledge that A has already withdrawn with the partnership, therefore dissolve na yung partnership. Pwedeng ganun. Pero, prove mo yan, hindi madali yan. Okay? Pero pwede siyang ma-exempt sa liability. Because in that case, may presumption yung third person na may authority pa rin si C. Okay? Kaya liable sila. Pwede lang ma-exempt yung partner if mapakita nila na si C, yung nag-contract or yung acting partner, may knowledge of the dissolution. Para siya lang ang liable. Gets? Okay. Kasi in that instance, i-refresh natin, una, 3 silang liable. Ay, 2 na lang kasi nag-withdraw na si A. Okay, liable si B tsaka si C. Okay? Ngayon, pwedeng pumunta si court, ay si B, si B, i-prove niya sa court na si C is may knowledge of that withdrawal. Okay? Ni A. So, kaya pwede siyang ma-exempt. Okay? Suppose B was the one who incurred the liability. Si B yung may alam, di ba? Sabi dito, A informed B that he was withdrawing. Si B yung may alam. Siya yung nag-incur ng liability. Therefore, si B lang yung liable. Kasi alam niya na-dissolve na nakipag-contract pa. Di ba? You can see, there is bad faith. Alam niya na-dissolve na, nakipag-contract pa, nag-create pa ng bagong obligation. A and C can recover, B lang yung liable. Okay? Suppose B learned of resignation from C. This time, nag-iba yung problem. Okay? Kasi yung una, si A sinabi niya kay B. Walang alam si C. Ngayon naman, si A sinabi niya kay C. Okay? Si B, nalaman niya lang yung resignation kay C. Okay? So, lahat sila liable. Why? Because of the word knowledge and notice. If titignan niyo dito, if cause is act of partner, acting partner must have knowledge of such dissolution. Must have knowledge. What do we mean by the word knowledge? Actual knowledge. Okay? Actual knowledge of fact. Ibig sabihin, na-observe mo, na-witness mo, nakita mo, narinig mo, naamoy mo, nalasahan mo, natikman mo. Okay? Yun yung actual knowledge. Kapag notice kasi, notice, nalaman mo lang yun dahil, let's say for example, sinabi sa'yo, through text, through letter, through conversation, through email. Yun yung notice. Okay? Eh dito ang tanong kasi dun sa last question, suppose B learned of resignation. So there is no knowledge, but instead, there is notice from B to C. Okay? Kaya lahat sila liable. Okay? If cause is death or insolvency, acting partner must have knowledge or notice. Dito naman kapag death or insolvency, whether alam mo or nabalitaan mo lang or sinabi sa'yo, okay, pwede kang ma-absolve sa liability mo. Okay? Okay. Basta tandaan dito sa una, kapag cause niya is act, kung gusto nung isang partner na hindi siya maging liable, okay, kailangan niyang i-prove that yung nag-contract na partner must have knowledge of such dissolution. Tandaan, knowledge, hindi notice. Okay? With respect to third persons, okay, authority to bind the partnership with respect to third person. Partners continues to bind partnership even after dissolution in following cases. Ito, paulit-ulit, transactions in connection to winding up partnership affairs. Of course, kasi kailangan i-settle yung obligations ng partnership. Second, transactions which would bind partnership if not dissolved when the other party or obligee, number 1, had extended credit to the partnership prior to dissolution, had no knowledge or notice of dissolution. Under this kasi, sa situation number 1, the credit has been extended prior to dissolution. Therefore, the transaction is already existing prior to dissolution. Diba? Therefore, the authority of the partner is still there. Okay? Kasi mayroon ng dating na-contract na credit. Okay? And that the other party has no knowledge or notice of dissolution. Parang simple lang kasing word na knowledge or notice, no? Pero it all has their meaning kasi. Kaya hindi ka pwedeng sa law, hindi pwedeng basta-basta kagagamit ng word. Kaya mas in-encourage ko yung simple words. Okay? Kasi kapag ganito niya, meron na yung meaning. Diba? Knowledge must be actual. Notice. Okay? Notice can be from other person, from letters, from emails, from mails, ganun. Situation 2. Okay? Transaction which would bind partnership if not dissolved when the other party or obligee did not extend credit to partnership, walang in-extend na credit, had known the partnership prior to dissolution, had no knowledge or notice of dissolution of fact of dissolution. Okay, under this instance, the partners can still bind third persons. Take note itong sa second, yung sa first ang reason because the credit has already been contracted prior to dissolution. Ito kasi, under business rule na kasi ito. Diba? Ito yung mga suki mo na hindi naman sila aware na na-dissolve na yung partnership. Mga suki, yung mga business or clients na meron kang usual transactions, yung kumbaga tuloy-tuloy ang transactions nyo, hindi umaabot pa nga sa point na hindi nyo na kailangan ng papel, di ba? Kasi mutual na, alam nyo na yung responsibility nyo sa isa't isa. Ito yung situation na yun. It will still bind that other party as long as may knowledge, had known the partnership prior to dissolution, had no knowledge of such dissolution. Okay? Ngayon, under situation 1 and situation 2, hindi liable lang ang partnership assets nitong mga to if unknown partner as a partner or yung secret partner or so far unknown and inactive in partnership affairs, yung mga dormant partners. Ibig sabihin, hindi sila liable sa separate properties nila under the situation number 1 and 2. Why? Because they in no way they could affect the business reputation. They cannot affect the business reputation. Why? Because number 1, they are not known as a partner. Number 2, they are not known as a partner and they are inactive in the partnership affairs. Okay? Parang investor lang sila. Parang investor lang talaga sila. Therefore, out of those liabilities created under, take note under situation 1 and situation 2, yung liabilities na mag-occur dyan, okay, hindi liable ang secret partner at dormant partner to their separate properties. Liable lang sila out of the partnership assets kung ano lang yung contribution nila para silang limited partner. Okay? Under these 2 instances only. Okay? Take note Partner cannot bind the partnership anymore after dissolution. That's the general rule. Diba? Alam naman na natin yan. Where dissolution is due to unlawfulness to carry on with business. Of course, except paulit-ulit no? For winding up of partnership affairs, settlement of obligations, where partner has become insolvent. Of course, the partner cannot bind. Sabi nga natin kanina, balik tayo dun sa insolvency. The partner cannot, the partner loses the authority to bind the partner or to represent the other partners. Where partner unauthorized to wind up partnership affairs. Of course, ang issue mo dito is authority. If meron kayong tinalagang liquidating partner or meron kayong partners na mag-act as receiver or the one who will handle the winding up of the affairs, silang mag-handle, hindi yung other partners. Except by transaction, same provision dito sa kabila. Okay, as long as that transaction with someone is the one who held extended credit to the partnership prior to dissolution, had no knowledge or notice of dissolution, same. Did not extend credit to the partnership, had known partnership prior to dissolution, had no knowledge, notice or fact of dissolution, same. Okay? Ito yung mga business partners. Okay? Nothing in this article shall affect the liability of any person who after dissolution represents himself or consents to another representing him as a partner in a partnership engaged in carrying business, meaning a partner by estoppel. Okay? Na-discuss naman natin kanina ng partnership by estoppel and partner by estoppel. Okay, the next one, discharge of liability. This solution does not discharge existing liability of partner, of course, except by agreement between. So, the general rule, this solution will not discharge the liability of the existing partner, except if there is an agreement between the partner himself, the person or the partnership continuing the business, and the partnership creditor. Dapat meron silang agreement, silang tatlo. Okay? Para ma-discharge yung partner sa obligations ng partnership. An agreement may be inferred from the course of dealing between creditor who has knowledge and the person or partnership continuing the business. Okay? Pero mas maganda kasi if there is an agreement kaysa na inference from the course of dealing. Kasi you have to prove that there is an agreement between the partner na gustong ma-discharge sa liability okay, sige, noted. Or yung person or partnership continuing the business or the partnership creditors. Okay? The individual property of a deceased partner shall be liable for all obligations of the partnership incurred while he was a partner but subject to the prior payment of his separate debts. Personal creditors preferred over partnership creditors. Of course, you have to consider the partnership property and the partner's separate property. Diba? I'll end this one. Of course, if what is concerned is the partnership property, of course, may preference ang partnership creditors. Okay? Kung separate property naman ng partner, of course, ang may preference dyan is yung separate creditor or yung individual creditor niya lapa. Okay? Yun yung merong preference dun. Yun yung sinasabi natin kanina. Pwede lang mag-claim ang partnership creditors dito kapag na-exhaust na itong or kapag na-satisfy na yung separate creditors or yung individual creditor no partner. Kapag na-check na yan, kung na-satisfy na lahat yan at may property pa si partner, pwedeng mag-claim ang partnership creditors. Yun. Okay, in the same instance here, okay, yung partnership property, liable siya sa partnership creditors. Kapag na-satisfy yan, okay, pwedeng maghabol ngayon yung separate creditors or yung individual creditors. Okay? Dito mo na rin ipasok yung diniscuss natin kahapon na charging order, di ba? Hindi pwedeng sumingil si creditor kung mayroong partnership creditors. Dapat masatisfy mo na to bago siya pwede. Okay, I hope that is clear. Okay, so yun yung sinasabi natin dito. Okay? The individual property o individual property, ibig sabihin separate property ng partner na namatay shall be liable for the obligations of the partnership creditors while he was partner but subject to the prior payment of his separate debts. Okay, so mauna ang separate creditors niya. Kasi ang concern mo dito is separate property naman yan ni partner, hindi naman yan partnership property. Okay? Ayan o, parang ganyan lang yan eh. Oh, ito kasi, ay wait lang, kalimutan ko tuloy i-connect. Ganito lang yan, yung discharge ng liability. Hindi mo automatic madi-discharge yung partner dun sa liability. Pero pwede siya ma-discharge kung meron agreement between the partner, the partnership, or the partners, and the partnership creditor. Dapat lahat sila mag-agree. In that case, wala siyang liability. Parang ganito. Sabi mo, tutulog ka na, inaantok ka na. Nag-post yung tropa mo, panalo kayo sa Mobile Legends. Ikaw pa ang MVP. Diba? Parang ganyan, wala ka ng liability kasi huli pero di kulong. Okay? Okay, yun yung kapag inallow yung discharge ng liability. Okay? When rights of partner were dissolution not in contravention of agreement. Okay, kapag yung dissolution nag-incur because of expiration of term or fulfillment of the undertaking, basta hindi in contravention of agreement, okay, normal lang. Apply the partnership property to the partnership liabilities or partnership creditors. Pag na-exhaust mo yung property, na-satisfy mo yung liabilities ng partnership, anything na sobra paghatian ng partners. Simple because the dissolution is not caused by the contravention of the agreement. Okay. What if dissolution is caused by the contravention of agreement? Let's say, for example, merong violations dun sa contract, like that, di ba? Simple as that pala. Okay? Meron tayong rights. Sino muna? Yung partners in good faith or yung partners who did not cause the dissolution. Okay? Sila yung walang kasalanan. Okay? Anong pwede nilang gawin? Anong rights nila? They can apply partnership property to discharge liabilities of the partners. Sila ang pwedeng mag-dissolve ng business. Sila ang pwedeng mag-wind up ng business. Apply surplus, if any, to pay in cash the net amount owed to partners. Except the faulting partners or the partner in bad faith or yung partner na nag-cause ng dissolution. They also have the right for damages dun sa nag-cause ng dissolution. They can also continue the business in the same name kung merong agreed na term. They can continue to possess the property if may natira pang partnership property, if business is continued. Okay? How about for the person na in bad faith or for the person who caused the dissolution? Meron ba siyang right? Meron pa rin siyang right. If business is not continued by the other partners, can apply partnership property to discharge liabilities of partnership and receive in cash his share of surplus less the damages, yung indemnity caused by his wrongful dissolution. Okay? If business is continued by the others, have the value of his interest at time of dissolution ascertained and paid in cash or secured bond and be released from all existing or future partnership liabilities, of course, less the damages caused by his dissolution. Parang binay out mo siya, si partner. Okay? So, yun yung rights. Rights of injured partner where partnership contract is rescinded on ground of fraud or misrepresentation by one party. So, aside from the right to cancel or the right to rescind, you also have the right to lien on surplus of partnership property after satisfying partnership liabilities. You have to consider that this is the partner, this talks about a partner who is in good faith or the one that has been injured. Okay? Therefore, he has the right to subrogate in place of creditors after payment of partnership liabilities. Therefore, kapag nabayaran yung partnership creditors or outside creditors, siya ang next. Siya ang next na preferred over the other partners. Okay? Right of indemnification by guilty partner against all partnership debts and liabilities. Of course, that partner is liable for damages. Okay? When a partner is induced by fraud or misrepresentation to become a partner, contract is annulable. Okay? When partnership is made through fraud or misrepresentation. Pero kung ipapa-annul mo ang contract, it will take you some time, di ba? Until the partnership contract is annulled by a court action, the partnership is still existing. Precisely, di ba? Pending the decision for annulment, the partnership is still existing. And the defrauded or injured partner is liable for all obligations to third persons, hence such rights is available. Okay? Kasi kung meron siyang na-defraud, okay, liable siya, yung guilty partner. Pero meron kasing instance na liable din ang partnership. Itong mga partners na ito na injured or in good faith, they can always go after the guilty partner. Okay, kaya meron tong rights natin. Okay? Lapit na. Settlement of accounts between partners, assets of the partnership. Ito, alam niyo na. Assets of the partnership. Paano ma-apply ang property ng partnership or ang assets? Mauna muna ang partnership property bago yung contribution of the partners. Saan ito i-apply? Saan i-apply ang assets of the partnership? Dito. May preference din siya. Alam niyo na rin ito. Number one, mauna lagi, paulit-ulit, even before. Partnership creditors. Sila ang unang masatisfy. Okay, partnership creditors. Kasalibang government dyan. Yes, if merong utang na tax or anything ang partnership, government can be considered as a partnership creditor. Next, under the preference is the partners as creditors. Okay, when the partners, ito na yung mga situations na na-encounter natin wherein the partners paid the expenses in behalf of the partnership. Okay? Or, di ba, yung sila muna yung nagbayad, yun, dito sila pwedeng sumingil. After ng partnership creditors. After ng partners as creditors, partners as investors with, of course, pertaining to their capital contribution. So, maunang bumalik yung capital contribution nila. Then, after that is yung profits if meron pang matira. Okay? Kung sa partnership creditors pa lang, wala nang natira dito sa taas, sa assets, wala na silang paghatian. Ano pa bang paghatian nyo? Diba? Ubus ka na. Wala na. Diba? Okay? Other rules. The partners shall contribute as provided by Article 1797 the amount necessary to satisfy the liabilities. If in case, dito pa lang, sa pag-satisfy pa lang sa partnership creditors, kulang na yung assets ng partnership. Ibig sabihin, meron pa silang utang. Okay? Pwedeng i-adopt yung profit sharing agreement with regards to their obligation. Okay? An assignee for the benefit of creditors or any person appointed by the court shall have the right to enforce the contributions specified in the preceding number. Kapag merong receiver appointed by the court, okay, they shall have the right to enforce proper contributions. Any partner or his legal representative shall have the right to enforce the contributions specified in number 4 to the extent of the amount which he has paid in excess of his share of the liability. Okay? The individual property of a deceased partner shall be liable for the contributions specified in number 4. Of course, applying ito. Okay? The individual property or the separate property shall be liable for the separate creditors first before yung partnership creditors. However, partnership property shall be liable to the partnership creditors first before dun sa liability ng separate partner. Okay? Ito, same. When partnership property and the individual properties of the partners are in possession of a court for distribution, partnership creditors shall have priority on partnership property and precisely and separate creditors on individual property, saving the rights of lien or secured creditors. Partnership assets shall answer primarily for partnership creditors. Individual assets shall answer for individual creditors. Any excess goes to the other. Gaya ng sabi ko kanina. Okay? Where a partner has become insolvent or his estate is insolvent, the claims against his separate property shall rank to the following. Of course, paulit-ulit. Kung insolvent yung separate kung insolvent yung partner, okay, liable yung assets niya to the separate creditors. Parang itong nasa taas din. Okay? Na doble-doble pala. Those owing to the partnership creditors, those owing to partners by way of contribution. So, when business, what if the business, nasa last na tayo, last na pala yun. When business of dissolved partnership is continued, what happens? Creditors of old partnership are also creditors of new partnership, which continues the business of the old one without liquidation of the. This happens when there is no liquidation of the partnership affairs. Let's say, for example, A and B are partners, na-dissolve yung partnership nila, then pumasok si C sa eksena. C, I think you have an idea of this, na-discuss ko na ito. C is not individually liable for previous debt. But, with regards to his contribution, liable siya kahit dun sa lumang creditors, liable siya. Pero dun sa separate assets niya, hindi na siya liable. Okay? Na-discuss ko na yan before. Partnership creditors have an equitable lien on the consideration paid to the retiring or deceased partner by the purchaser when retiring or deceased partner sold his interest without final settlement with partnership creditors. Okay? Kapag binenta ng retiring or deceased partner yung interest niya na hindi pa nasa-settle yung mga pautang ng partnership creditor, meron silang lien dun sa matanggap ng retiring or deceased partner. Yung proceed na nakuha niya dun sa pagbenta niya ng interest, merong habol ang partnership creditors dun. Kapag lien yan, equitable lien, pwede nila yung i-enforce sa court. They can go to court. Okay, so walang escape. See, tapusin na din to guys, extend kahit 5 minutes or 10. So kapag kahit pa nag-retire or namatay yung deceased partner, kahit pa nabenta yung interest na yun, kung hindi pa nasa-settle yung partnership creditors, pwede nilang habulin yung proceeds nung sale, nung pinagbenta ng retiring or deceased partner. Ganun ka-powerful ang creditors. Okay? How about the rights of retiring or estate of deceased partner? To have the value of his interest ascertained, right to accounting. To receive as ordinary creditor the value of his share in the dissolved partnership with interest or profits attributable to the use of his right at his option. Take note, under this provision, the retiring partner or the deceased partner is put in the level of the partnership creditor. Why? Kasi sabi dyan, to receive as ordinary creditor. So, para siyang magiging partnership creditor. Sabi natin, ng partnership creditor, merong preference. Sila ang may unang preference sa partnership properties. Okay? So, yun kapag retiring or namatay yung partner. Okay, last slide, I think. Yeah, last slide. Persons authorized to wind up. Number 1, the partner designated. Of course, if you are designated to wind up, you are authorized. Number 2, kung walang agreement, any partner, kahit sino, lahat, except the one who has wrongfully dissolved the partnership. Nasabi ko na rin ito kanina, di ba? Kung ikaw yung in bad faith, ikaw yung nag-cause ng dissolution, you cannot ask, you cannot wind up the business. Okay? Legal representative of last surviving partners. Okay? Ito, bihirang senaryo. Legal representative of last surviving partners. Bakit? Kapag lahat sila namatay. So, kung sino yung last na namatay, yung legal representative nun, siya ang pwedeng mag-wind up nung partnership affairs. So, hindi naman kayo sabay-sabay mamatay. Meron yung mauna dyan, na ka-reserve na sa langit. Siyempre, siya muna, after nung isa. Ganun. Pero, meron kasing nangyayari na dalawang mag-partner, nagkaroon ng in a plane crash or a car crash, dalawa silang namatay. Okay? Meron actually ganyan na case. The court really went to determine kung sino yung last na surviving partner. Kasi nga, ang pinag-aawayan, kung sino yung may karapatan na mag-wind up nung partnership affairs. So i-determine pa yon kahit ganun. Okay? Judicially or extrajudicially, yung liquidation. And, the court may also appoint receiver to wind up partner. Gaya yung sabi natin kanina, the court can always appoint a receiver or the partners. Kapag sinabi natin extrajudicially, ibig sabihin, hindi sila out of court kasi extrajudicial, out of court. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng sila na lang ang mag-liquidate. Or, kung wala silang tiwala sa isa't isa, pwedeng judicial, dadaan pa sa korte, madaming gastos pa, di ba? Okay, pwedeng judicial, extrajudicial, pwedeng appointed receiver. Okay, that ends our topic.